transforming marketing governance, recasting the perception from cost center to profit center. Please welcome Dipti Singh, Director, Portfolio Marketing, IRS, Asia and India, and India Marketing, Vertiv. A round of applause, please.
Am I audible? Thank you. So it's very difficult, this session. We all were actually on the moon in the space and bringing you all back to this boring topic. But I'll request you to stay with me. It will be very interesting. And thank you, Nandini ma'am. I think it's very inspirational. Telemetry tracking and command network is what she mentioned. It's monitoring the data from satellite to Earth, right? I do a similar thing at the place where I work, Vertiv. It is also monitoring data. This data is from the data centers, How many of you understand data centers here? Right, quite a few. So the data centers around the big giants in IT, ITS, or any other field, any other industry is built up by, many brands, but Vertiv is one of the leading brands. So I belong to this industry, which is B2B. And I am a marketer, a tech marketer. So we had this session just before Nandini's ma'am's session. We were talking about how marketing is now changing its perception from beautifying things to actually adding value to the organization, right? So I'm gonna first ask this question to the audience here before I flip on to the next slide. How many of you, even from the non-marketing side, in the organization you feel that the marketing budgets or the marketing cost is a cost center? It's a very positive audience. How many of you still think that it is a cost center, it is yet to become a profit center? Okay, so I have 3-4 challenges here, 5-6 challenges, okay, to convince your perception before we leave the hall. So now, if you understand, my role here is to not convince or change the perception, but the slides, what we'll see, you will understand that how we are evolving, okay? In the panel discussion, we said that we are evolving. Yes, we are evolving from cost center to profit center. Okay, so there was a survey by Gartner. I'm sure everyone knows Gartner. It's the largest research firm, renowned firm. And this was the survey wherein we had 39% of the CMOs said that in their organization, marketing is perceived as a cost center. In 24, 47% of the CMOs came up with the same thing, saying that, no, it is still a cost center for the organization, okay? Again, a challenge. Now, we took this survey, Gartner took this survey for both B2B and B2C industry. On an average, there was a survey done by in both a mix of B2B and B2C. If you see, the average is 45% of the organizations still perceive marketing as a cost center versus profit center. So a lot of job for the tech marketers, for us, to change this perception and in helping the organization build a profitable growth, right? Now, there was a question thrown to the respondents that, do you strongly agree if it is a cost center or profit center? Similar answers, if you see, 67% said it's a profit center. They said they strongly believe or somewhat believe it is a cost center. Sorry, it's a profit center. And look at the number, 79. 80% of the respondents mentioned that I agree and I strongly believe it is a cost center. Okay? So now we understand it's a tough role to convince or make this perception change in the organization. So proving the value of marketing as a profit center is an everyday negotiation. Now, this is something where when we have large, big ticket items in our budgets, be it a PR event, be it an event for the consultants, for the customers, key accounts, channel, enterprise, whatever GTM we do, if it is something which is going above the budgets, we need to actually go to the management and beg for budgets, right? We do that negotiation. What do we sell? We don't sell the event. We sell, we'll get ROI, we'll get leads, we'll get new customer acquisitions, things like that. So, but this is the sad part. We need to negotiate with our management to bring more money to the table so that we can be visible. We can maintain the brand decorum. Is this happening often? The CMOs here, Are we talking to the right people, to the right leadership? Often it's seen that we have our MBRs, QBRs, monthly business reviews, quarterly business reviews. Marketing will be given a slot of 5 to 10 minutes, and then we need to present that what are we contributing as pipeline, things like that. But has it ever happened that the CMO is taking the lead, the marketing management is taking the lead, and delivering the entire analytics to the entire organization, regionally, globally? This is very, very important. I think this is the major reason that the front end is not done by marketing. It is still considered as a support function. So that's the framework. The CEO sits right there. Below we have the CMO building the strategies. We have the marketing management, where we belong to, and then we have people under us, okay? We need to together consistently work on this framework to believe that how do we reach from cost center to profit center? Okay, these are the basic value, we can say the vectors, marketing value vectors, which will help us to achieve this perception in the organization. Next time you meet your CFOs or your CEOs, remember, you don't go as a cost center, okay? You say that we are going to give you growth, ROI, not only ROI, but profits, cost margins, VCMs across it. First is connection to strategy. Whatever business strategy the company has already laid down for the next 3 years, we need to align that exactly the same strategies for marketing. Marketing cannot be working into silos. Critical impact project. Many of you must have been in a project where you must have been launching some series or some roadshows or new campaigns or new, maybe a social media campaign, wherein you would have delivered a lot of impressions, a lot of new customer acquisition, new leads. That is how that critical project under marketing will create more impact rather than your regular activities. Empowering others. In the panel session, we just mentioned that how do we empower the other functions? We have sales, we have product, engineering, we have manufacturing, supply chain, we have HR, finance. So marketing is a centrifugal force to maintain the decorum of the brand, not only in the internal organization, the internal customers, but also externally. So it is very important that how we empower our other functions and other departments. Optimizing resources. We get the budgets and then suddenly we are told from the procurement department, reduce your costs. Okay, so reducing costs is like your supplier or the vendors you deal with, reduce the cost of the hire, the talent, what you hire, the resources, what you hire. So how do you optimize these resources? Insight engine, again, you do not work for marketing. Marketing doesn't work for marketing. Marketing works for the organization. So the benefit has to be, the benefit of the marketing objective has to be aligned with the strategic objective of the company, and it has to be an enterprise spread. ROI story, we all know, we sell this. Budgets versus ROI. In a nutshell, if I may say, if we have this aligned within our organization, this perception of marketing being the profitable growth of the organization becomes much more simpler, much more easier. And this is everything what I spoke is on one page. Number one, marketing can generate revenue directly. Yes? Yes? Direct revenue generation. Indirect revenue generation, where we see impressions, where we see, let's say, visibility, brand decorum, and hygiene, all of those things. And lastly, we say, how do we optimize the resources? So in the direct revenue generation, we have how do we develop new sales leads through digital, through events, through product launches? How do we retain our customers who are existing? How do we retain our channel partners? How do we retain our distributors, resellers, enterprise accounts, key accounts? All this, in a nutshell, will always drive growth, and it will also ensure the retentions and hashtag new customer acquisitions. Indirect revenue generation is something where when we take surveys, NPS is Net Promoter Score, and CSAT is Customer Satisfaction Survey. So when we take those, we know that that is the indicator of success of how are we else performing, what is the brand value in the market when we take such surveys. And lastly, optimizing resources, I already mentioned that we need to reduce the cost at the same time what budgets we have. I think Nitya stole the show when she was just mentioning that Amul is the best brand when it comes to content marketing, okay? So some of the few brands in India, the way they developed their marketing strategies was, and actually it was a proportion to the profits they gained out of this marketing techniques, okay? So first example is Amul. Yes, as rightly mentioned by Nitya, it was the content team of Amul is so very creative, you know, be it anything happening in the world or in India. When the Prime Minister was announced in 2014, from then till now, we know it has various funny yet meaningful taglines and punchlines. We love to see them, read them on the hoardings and on the social media platforms as well. So their USP is content marketing. Then they also have data-driven marketing, where they analyze how much of this data is actually coming to these posts. And finally, partnerships. HDFC Bank has come up with a lot of, trading, mutual funds, SIPs. Now they have started coming from that silo of being very reserved to being very much to the face. The interface is social media for them. And it has gained a lots and lots of incremental growth because of what type of marketing they have been doing. Tata Tea is a social responsibility ad. We love Ratan Tata. The way he will try to position the brand is always in terms of either education, either responsibility, either environment. So they have been successfully doing an emotionally appealing ads on TVs and on YouTube, if you see. That is the success stories. We have Shah Rukh and Amitabh Bachchan. They are the brand ambassadors for Tata Tea as well. Lastly, Netflix. Netflix has its own series, okay? So it is doing great in terms of the original content. It is very important that we stick to what is original, and original is the best to sell, right? So Netflix has done great in terms of the content and the target marketing as well. Netflix has tied up with Amazon. The two parts of, they are actually competition to each other, but because they want to give a better bundle subscription, to people like us, so they have come together, and this has worked wonders for Netflix. Now, just small quiz. I'll just display the logo. Okay, just guess the brand. Brand? Dropbox. Anyone who knows the story of Dropbox, how it started? 2007, it started with this, free space thing, where it was a word of mouth. So if you had a referral program, and they had a referral program, if you would refer Dropbox to your friend, you would get extra free space. Now, that was so popular that they actually captured the market from 2007 till now, okay? This should be simple. Dabur. So Dabur believes in, brave and beautiful. So they revamped the campaign. They were known to be somewhere, very traditional, very conventional, but they made it happen with the new campaigns they came into. I'll take one or two more minutes, guys. How many are using this? Great. Who is the brand ambassador? Bollywood? Who was the brand ambassador? Kareena Kapoor, right? She did it. Okay. So Airbnb came up with this very interesting offer that if you recommend a group of people or a couple to one of the hotels or the apartments you want to rent, we'll give you $100. Then they came up that $100 for everyone you bring to our hotel or our hotel property, we'll give you a discount on your stay. Just imagine, it went to 300% hike in just 2 months. That is profitable growth, that is marketing. So, okay, very famous? Yes, Pink? Barbie? Nicki Minaj? How many have seen the video, the Barbie song? No one? Yeah, sorry. I don't know which generation. Okay, so I'm so sorry. So Nicki Minaj is a very popular singer, and she has come up with a mix, the old Barbie song, and with this new, she has come up with an avatar of a Barbie, and she's trying to change the perception. It was a massive hit. It was a massive hit, okay? So the analytics, what I showed, these campaigns will work only when you know how did it work. So the analytics matter a lot. We use Power BI and many other tools, but it is very important that you make the analytics competent enough to show to the organizations that for every $1 I spent, I gave a $50 revenue to the company with a $10 profits in it, the cost margin in it. So that is the most valued statement a marketer could bring it to the organization, okay? Lastly, we have heard about ROI. Have you heard about ROO? Returns on objectives. Very, very important. Business objectives, you say, I'll give you 10% incremental growth. That's it, marketing. If they ask you what is the return on objectives for the organization, okay? Building up a $50 million pipeline or a $100 million pipeline is okay for marketing, but what about the organization? Behavioral objectives, what do you do as a sustainability or a CSR objective? That is the behavior of the brand in the market. And then marketing tactics to bring it ahead. I think I'm done. Lastly, I leave you with this question. Is your marketing operations function driving profitable growth? This, if it is asked to you by your management or the leadership, say yes, I can prove it to you. So next time you go for budgets, ensure that you get incremental budgets more than 10, 20, 30%, whatever it is, okay? Thank you so much. I hope I made the session interesting.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together one more time for Dipti Singh. Dipti, you definitely made it interesting. Thank you so much.